Hello, and welcome to this terribly unexciting Zelda 2 playthrough. My name is Carlos, aka a bazillion other aliases. How the hell are y'all doing? Last time, we got the flute from the Ocean Palace and used it to make the river devil evaporate. Before proceeding though, I just remembered I never went to this desert, and thinking that maybe there was an extra life in it, I braved its scorched, frigid sands? I was about to say frigid, maybe this particular desert is cold, you never know. So before proceeding, I'm going to bore you with this terribly boring little trek into this little desert. And there was something here, but I don't believe it was an extra life. I believe it was a mere experience bag, which I don't really need at this point. That's right. It's worth quite a bit of experience, probably level up my attack to level 8 before I finish the 6th palace, which I am going to head to, but not going to enter in this part. First I need to obtain the magical key, which basically acts as an infinite key, because the 6th palace puts locked doors, but doesn't give me the keys to open them, so I need the magical key to enter. Here, we have Lizalfos up on the fence hucking rocks. The only two ways to kill them are to use the spell, it's actually called spell, or the thunder spell. I have neither. So I'm going to have to play some bullet hell as I traverse this horrendously dangerous little, I guess, choke point. You gotta give credit to Zelda 2 for this being one of the, you know, it kind of varies up the monotony of the scenery a little bit, having this giant fence with Lizalfos. One would imagine they are tribal Lizalfos poking their head up behind fences and just hucking rocks at you. I personally think that's a pretty cool scene. I decided not to deal with this Zora because, you know, taking one too many... The rocks aren't dealing too much damage, but taking one too many isn't going to be good for my health anyway, so I believe there's one more scene to do of this. That is correct. You can just run beeline to the right and carefully jump over rocks as they head at your back. I find I'm not skilled enough to handle that, because the Lizalfos will try to lead you into them a bit. So I find it's better to just try to weave through them rather than try to rush it. I'm not going to head into that graveyard because there are blue moas there which, until I get the cross, which is the treasure from the 6th palace, are invisible. They also take away quite a bit of experience on hit, and they deal a fair amount of life as they repeatedly hit you, and there are more than just a few moas. There's a good, like, 7 or so of them on the screen. That particular fly up there, I don't know what his name is. He is really irritating, just flies around and drops rocks. There's not too much more to this particular swamp. As far as I know, it's only the 2nd swamp in the game, and the only one in Eastern Hyrule. Dealing with the eye fuckers. I've been told not to call them eye fuckers by someone at fantasystrike.com, because it reminded them of some comic character that would fuck eyes. Shoutouts to fantasystrike.com. For having some of the most excellent forum members and game design discussions that I've seen on the internet. It is significantly less abrasive and more intelligent than quite a few other places. But when I say less abrasive, that's not to say there aren't people who are, let's call them passionate about the art. It's simply that they know what the hell they're talking about. I don't know what the hell I'm doing there, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anywho, I'm gonna go past this Auru Louder here, because, as mentioned, there is no point fighting these extraordinarily irritating enemies. I thought there would be a life in this cave, I was wrong. So, continuing on. Just gonna speed this up here, because you really don't see... Screwed up my words. You don't need to see me go through this cave. Just run through here. Now, you are not privy to this, because... I'm skipping this part, but normally you'd puzzle your way through Zelda 2 and come across a ghost town of Kasuto with lots of invisible moas in it. It is the town immediately south of my location here. So when you go to Old Kasuto, you find only moas, which are, at this point in the game are invisible and will kill you. and abandoned houses, except for one. The very first house in town has the old magic man. That particular man will teach you the thunder spell, but he will not teach it to you yet. He will instead tell you that the residents of Kasuto fled to the east, which is where I'm going to head right now. Once you get the magical key and the spell from old Kasuto, that will cause the man who remains in, or from New Kasuto I should say, that will cause the man who remains in old Kasuto to give up. There's a heart container on the beach here. Gonna grab it. Full life. Yes. It causes the man in old Kasuto, just to repeat that again, to teach you the thunder spell, which you need to beat the game. It does quite a bit of damage to everyone on screen, but you only really need it to defeat the second last boss. It's a terribly inefficient way to deal damage. So I'm going to go through the forest here. The forest enemies are content to be, well, actually any random encounter at this point in the game is content to be really hard, whether it's the easy grayscale slime enemies or the harder grayscale, like, vaguely humanoid-shaped encounters. Like, I'm getting orange Lizalfos as the easy encounter here, so that tells you the amount the game is trying to kill you at this point. I need to head into that cave to get to New Kasuto, or the hidden town of Kasuto as it's called. You'll find out why soon enough. Just gonna cast a fire spell and defeat these two Tektites. They are no less irritating than they were when I first encountered them. Shoot a few flames ahead in case there are some Tektites waiting, but I don't think there are. Nope, I lied. There's one there, and now he's dead. So here, we get to see me get my ass handed to me by a Lizalfos. And just gonna keep taking damage. Just gonna take some more damage. And I decide discretion is the better part of valor, and when one's ass is getting handed to him by a lizard man in armor, one should probably keep running. I decide not to bother fighting that one because of it. The town of Kasuto is hidden there. You have to chop it down with the axe, and then it will turn into a town that you can get to. You don't know how many hours I wasted knowing there was something wrong with that forest, but not realizing how to get into this town. We had to flee Kasuto, says this lady with a bull on her head. This old lady will say that she will help me. I deserve her help, and to follow her. So you head into her house. You talk to her. She changed clothing while, I was walking in there. Tells you that there's a secret at the edge of town. You'll see what it is soon enough. But here we find a magic container. Fill up on magic. And now I have the maximum possible amount of life and magic. And once I also have them leveled up to 8, which is the maximum level, and pretty damn soon I'm gonna have a level 8 sword. Which means that I will be officially done kind of getting the collectibles I need. This very sexy, bigger lady says that the old man who remains has magic. That is very nice, and chunky girls are sexy, so that's why I stopped to talk to her. Shoutouts to chunky girls. So, there was something in this house, but I actually remembered where it was, unlike in Naburu. East of Triple I Rock at Seashore. That was that heart container that I grabbed earlier. So, refill my magic here at this glowing orange lady. Very nice. Haven't said very nice yet. This lady will refill my life, but I didn't remember if she was how I get magic, so I just continued on. This house is where you get the spell, and you get it by walking into the chimney. Looks like I can get, but the words do not understand how word work. Word working, not good for Carlos, no. Remember the magic word, BAM. And spell. The spell, as far as I know, has 2 effects. It changes some enemies into blue bots, which makes dealing with some particularly more difficult enemies much easier. And it also causes the secret at the edge of this town to reveal itself. And here is that secret about to be revealed. Spell. and we enter this tall, weird dildo building. Lots of dildos in Zelda 2, just realizing. And get the magical key, which will allow me to complete Palace number 6, which I'm going to head to right now. So you don't need to see me leave town here, so I'm going to fast forward it. Anytime now. Call for help at the 3-Eye Rock. That tells you how to get to Palace 6. Anyway, I'm going to fast forward through town here, heal up my magic real quick. Go back here. Why did I slow this down again? Right, because I wanted to show just how inept I am at fighting the Lizalfos, so I slowed it down just to show how terrible I am at fighting that orange one that kicked my ass. So here we go. Here he comes. I'm ready for him this time. Nope, never mind. Fuck it. Fuck that guy. He embarrassed me once. Let's fast forward again. Shoot fires ahead, deal with the Tektites, who still do quite a bit of damage to me. And very soon here, I'm going to cut this part short. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching video. Gonna toot the flute, reveal the palace, see you next time.